Hey, YA book fans, welcome to Book Talk number 6 with Dave, the teen librarian. That's me, and Savvy B with me as always. Hey, Savvy, what book are we talking about today?
So today we're going to switch things up a little bit. We have a graphic novel to share. We have Teen Titans Raven, and this is by Cami Garcia. The A is a little cut off there. And Gabriel, I don't know if it's Piccolo or Picolo, but he
It's
is the
Picolo, I
artist
think.
for this. And Picolo, okay, he's the artist, and he does
Mhm.
just an amazing job in this book. I love all of the artwork. The color scheme is mostly just like grayscale with like the little bits of purple to show Raven. And I mean, just look at that. It's just amazing.
Yeah,
So this is the book that we're talking about today.
it's great art.
And this is an origin story basically for the character of Raven from the Teen Titans franchise, if you will. Um, and so basically, it starts all the way at the beginning. So back, like before Raven is Raven, really. A tragic accident takes the life of 17-year-old Raven Roth's foster mom and her memory, Raven's memory. So she doesn't have any memory after this accident that kills her foster mom. She moves to New Orleans to live with her foster mom's family and finish her senior year of high school. So starting over obviously isn't easy for her. She just lost, a big part of her life, and she can't even remember what happened. That's a big part of the story. She doesn't know what happened that night. She remembers how to solve math equations and make pasta, but she can't even remember her favorite song or who she even was before this accident happened. So when strange things start
Hmm.
happening, things most people would consider impossible, Raven starts to think that it might be better not to know who she was in a previous life. She kind of starts to think on the darkest side of things, you know. But
Hmm.
as she grows closer to her foster sister, Max, and her new friends, Tommy Torres, a guy who accepts her for who she is now, Raven has to decide if she's ready to face what she's buried in the past and the darkness that's building inside of her. And this is actually from the author, Cami Garcia is the author of the Beautiful Creature series, which is a
Right?
great series, super popular YA series. And she has actually also started writing the next one in this series, which is about Beast Boy. And I'm very excited about that one as well.
Right.
So,
Awesome. I love graphic novels. Graphic novels defy a lot of the stereotypes that we have for genre of books. Most people hear graphic novel and they automatically assume that it's a comic book or a series of comic books in an omnibus. That's true to a certain extent, but it's also, as we have dealt with, there are graphic novels about historical figures and graphic novels about first-person war experiences, and they're just so versatile. They really
mhm,
express the characters a whole lot better than just words on the page, which isn't to say that I don't like books. I love books, as you well know, but
mhm.
there's something more about it. There's the artistic aspect of it lends some real depth to the character and to the story and the setting. Did you find that to be the case with this book?
Yes, absolutely. So a lot of what's in here, and I'm going to try and find some pictures online, or I'll try and scan some of the pictures and then put them in for you guys. Um, a lot of it, she's got this dark past that she really just doesn't know what's going on. And so she has this little shadow that follows her, and it's a raven. So I don't
Hmm.
know if we would be able to really grasp this as much if it was in like a regular novel format, but there's just some beautiful images, especially because this graphic novel takes place in New Orleans. Um, she, the woman that she goes to live with, practices a lot of different kinds of voodoo and magic and things like that. And so we have these gorgeous scenes in this beautiful New Orleans graveyard, and it really just gives so much more depth to the story, I think. And honestly, I
Yeah.
have an issue with some graphic novels just, and I know that's kind of the nature of graphic novels, to cut around and the pictures are supposed to tell more of the story than the words are. But this one, I think it's a pretty
Hmm.
hefty, thick graphic novel. It's
It
sturdy,
is.
it's heavy
Yeah.
duty, but it not only the pictures tell the story, you know, with the shadow that follows her around and everything, but the characters' conversation actually flows together and it makes sense. You know, I felt like I was reading a book with some really great artwork instead of reading a graphic novel. But,
Right.
you know, if I read it, I feel like I'm missing bigger chunks of the story that I think the author really wants you to fill in from the pictures. And I guess I'm not as good as
Right.
that, but this one was great in that sense. It really gave me the full story and the full picture altogether.
Yeah, you know, the whole thing between Marvel and DC, and this is a DC adaptation of the Teen Titans, and there's
Mhm.
been 25 different versions of the Teen Titans in the last 20 years, and it's whatever. But that's what happens with comic book characters. But
Mhm.
DC has been doing a really good job of adding a lot of, I think, a lot of depth and
Mhm.
a little bit more humanity to their characters. There's only so much. I love Captain America, but there's only so much you can do with Captain America to make him real
Right.
and appealing. Whereas, you know,
Mhm.
a character like Raven or Robin or Batman, the Flash, you can do so much with them. They're so much more malleable. And I really got excited when I saw that they were going to go back and do these origins for the Teen Titans. I just thought it was fantastic, and it turns out that they're really doing a good job with it.
Yeah, one thing I really loved about this was, you know, I'm a fan of Teen Titans already, but this graphic novel, I think, really humanized the Raven character, especially. I thought that it was very
Right.
interesting that they chose to start with Raven in the series. But, you know, if you know anything about Teen Titans, the character of Raven is very moody. She's dark. She's usually got like the cape and everything, and she's the mysterious one. But in this book, because it starts back with this car accident and her foster mom, I love that they play on the fact that she can't even remember her favorite song. And that kind of really clicked with me. I was like, "Ah, could you imagine if tomorrow something happened and you don't
Right.
remember your favorite song, who you are, your interests, your own interests? You think you would just always know that stuff,
Right.
but it could be taken away from you." So that really humanized her. And in this book, we see her kind of start more on the human scale and move into this superhero that she's going to be. So I'm really excited to see where the series goes, if they eventually do all come together, or if they're really going to stay an origin story. So
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for reviewing it. It's a good graphic novel. I'm excited about the whole process. I like anytime authors and artists try to make characters relatable to the people who are reading them, and accessible, because
mhm.
you know then we connect with them and they mean something to us. I love that. So
Yeah.
so how many Boba Fetts do you want to give this graphic novel?
So I really want to give this either 4 or 5. I think more 5 Boba Fett's for this one because it
Wow.
really, like I said, told a whole story, both with the pictures and with the conversation and everything that goes into it. And it's a very exciting start to what's going to be a great series for the Teen Titans. And I think it's going to bring in a new generation of readers as well.
Okay, high praise. Very good. What book are we going to talk about next?
So next time, I think I just started this book, so I'm hoping it turns out well enough for us to be able to talk about it. But next time, I want to talk about Last Girls by Dimitra Brodsky, I believe is how you say her last name. I really need to learn how to say these people's last names before I talk about them. Um, but this one is more on the, instead of post-apocalyptic, it's kind of pre-apocalyptic. So it follows these
Wow.
girls right here. They're in a family, and their mother is a doomsday prepper. So up here it says, "This is
Uh,
the way their world ends." And it just really kind of, you know, grabbed my attention because most books, something terrible has already happened. And this one
mhm.
says, "No one knows how the world will end. Prepare for every situation." And so these girls are kind of stuck with these survival tips from their mother, and they're in like a commune that's preparing for the end of the world that hasn't even happened yet. So it sounds pretty interesting, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, it does. It seems like a timely topic, um, which I
Yes,
hate to say.
indeed.
Yes, thank you so much, Savvy. I really appreciate your time. So we've got some good and exciting news. Savvy and I and Sam, who wasn't able to join us this week, but we've been working on a super secret special project. You've probably heard us mention it at least in one or two videos. And now I'm going to say a little bit more about it. In the last few weeks and months, we have been working and planning with a local nonprofit organization in town called Rhino Leap to produce a podcast, a library podcast. And we're really, really excited about that. Sam and Savvy and I are going to be meeting and recording a podcast 8 months out of the year. So we're going to be looking to interview certain people, and we'll have library staff come and talk to us. Sometimes we'll just be talking about current topics that relate to library work and free speech and the freedom of inquiry, freedom of expression, and topics along those lines. And we're really excited to say that it'll be available anywhere that you get your podcast. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about us, about myself and Savvy and Sam, or if you want to learn about what we do behind the scenes and what informs us and motivates us to do our work, please do pay attention. We will have a reveal video when the podcast is put out, and we'll have it on our social media. So be sure and check back on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram for more information on our super secret podcast. I'm not even going to say the name of the group yet because I don't want to jinx it, but I think you guys will be very excited to find out. And as always, thanks for joining us for this edition of our TeenZone Book Talk. If there's a book that you want us to review, or if there are comments, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to put them down in the comments. We will check the comments and make sure that we are taking your requests seriously. We don't know what you like, and we want to know. So if there's a book or a graphic novel or any other kind of information that you want us to talk about in these videos or in our podcast, let us know. Also, remember to like and subscribe. Obviously, click the subscribe button down there below. Like this video, watch our other videos, click the bell if you want notifications about when our newest videos are going to be coming live. And make sure and follow us on Facebook at randolphlibrary.org/Facebook, and also Twitter and Instagram and everywhere else that you can. And make sure that you are keeping up with programming that we have. And we've got some exciting stuff coming in October. I think Savvy and I have been working, Savvy mainly has been working on some plans for some super spooky stuff that we can do via Zoom video in October. So we're really super excited about that as well. Remember the 3 W's, okay? Wear a mask if you're out in public with your friends. Wait 6 feet between yourselves. Wash your hands regularly. Keep up with what's going on with the pandemic. Inform yourselves, because an informed citizenry is a powerful citizenry. We want you to be aware of what's going on. If you have questions or comments, put them down below, or give the library a call. If there's a book that you want, we are still doing curbside pickup. Thank you so much for joining us, Savvy. Thanks for review and Raven. Looking forward to getting into that one, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.